Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to work on the vocabulary pictures and words for the second grade Journeys lesson 4. And our anchor text is Diary of a Spider. So for this lesson, we're going to turn and talk. I'm going to ask you questions about the pictures. You're going to think about your answers. And if you have a friend or family member at home, you can pair up with your friend or family member and talk with them about the questions. Or you can be my virtual partner and we'll be partners. And then when you're ready, you're going to share your answer out loud in a complete sentence or sentences. So for this lesson, you will need a pencil and a piece of paper, and you're going to write numbers 1 through 8. So this is one activity that you can do for vocabulary. On the next slide, I'll give you a different vocabulary activity, so you can choose. So the first choice is to write numbers 1 through 8. And then at the end of the lesson, after you've written all of the vocabulary words, you're going to get your crayons or your pencil, and you're going to either rainbow write or just write your words 3 more times. So that's the first choice, the first activity choice. The second activity choice, you will need a pencil and a piece of paper or journal page. And there's your piece of paper. And you're going to divide the paper into 3 equal parts or thirds. 1, 2, 3. 1, and you actually do 2 folds or 2 lines. And then you're going to write numbers 1 through 8. And every time you see a new vocabulary word, you're going to write the word. Then, depending on what the word means, you're going to write a synonym. And a synonym means a word that means the same or is similar. For example, it says combine. So the person's combining ingredients while they're cooking. And a similar or a word that means the same is mix. So combine and mix are synonyms. So you're going to write the vocabulary word, then write a synonym or a word that means the same. And then you're going to draw a quick picture or sketch. It's not going to be a fancy picture, just a quick picture for each of the 8 vocabulary words. So you may push pause and decide if you what you want to do, or if your teacher's told you what you're going to do. Choose one of the 2 activities. And when you're ready, push play again and you'll get started. So our learning target is I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story, Diary of a Spider. Our second learning target is I can have a conversation with a partner about the vocabulary words and pictures. So you can get a partner from home or you can be my virtual partner. Success criteria, that means how will you know you're successful at using the pictures and context clues to understand important words from Diary of a Spider? And how will you know how to have a conversation about these vocabulary words and pictures? Well, here is our steps for success. Just like these people are climbing the learning mountain, our goal is to get to the top and reach the learning target, and this is what we're going to do to reach it. Number 1, look closely at each group of pictures. Number 2, say what I notice about the pictures. How are they the same or similar? Number 3, read each word and its definition. Number 4, you're going to write each word, a synonym, and draw a quick sketch, or you're going to choose to rainbow write the words 3 times each. So make sure you make your decision if you're going to write each word and then a synonym and then draw a quick picture or sketch, or you're going to write each of the 8 words and then at the end of the lesson, you're going to write them 3 more times. So let's review our turn and talk rules. Number 1, eye to eye and knee to knee. Number 2, first one person talks, the other person listens. So if you're my partner, make sure you listen to what I'm saying and listen closely, because then you're going to get to talk and say your answers in a complete sentence. So then the next person talks, the other person listens, but don't talk too long on your turn or your partner will not have time to have a turn. So the first question I'm always going to ask when I show you the pictures, what do you notice or see? And you're going to say, I notice or I see. And then after we talk about what you notice, I'm going to ask, how are they all the same or similar? And you're going to say, they all. And then you may agree with me and say, I agree with you, Mrs. Pearson, because, and tell me why. Or you may disagree with me or your partner and say, I disagree with you because, and tell me why. So here's our first group of pictures. Number 1, what do you notice or see? So you can say, I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a fly, and I notice a fly has 6 legs, 3 on each side. In the second picture, I notice a fly and some other bugs. And in the third picture, I notice an ant, some ants. And I notice that these ants also have 6 legs. So what kind of animal has 6 legs? So how are all these pictures the same or similar? They all, well, if you know what type of animal has 6 legs, they all are insects. So I want you to write down this word, insects, I-N-S-E-C-T-S, insects, I-N-S-E-C-T-S, insects. What are insects? Insects are small bugs with 6 legs and 3 body parts and may have wings. If you notice, some of these animals have wings, but others don't. The ants in this picture don't have wings, but I know there are some flying ants. So they are all insects. So please make sure whatever activity you're doing, you need to write the words down. Insects. Another word for insect could be bug, or you could say a bug with 6 legs. There's a synonym for you, bug. So you can write bug for your synonym and you can draw a quick sketch. If you need more time, push pause if I'm going too quickly, and then push play when you're ready. All right, ants, flies, and bees are all insects. They all have 6 legs. So you should have written insects for number 1. A synonym would be bugs, and then a quick sketch. Think about it. Which insects do you like and why? So I know I definitely like butterflies and ladybugs. They are definitely my favorite. Flies are not. Okay, number 2, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Say it out loud. Well, I notice in the first picture, this girl says, uh-oh, because she's about ready to fall into a hole. And this is a skull and crossbones. And uh-oh, I noticed that this scuba diver is hanging on for his or her dear life because there's a shark in the water. So how are all these pictures the same or similar? They all, well, if you didn't already notice, they all are dangerous activities. They all mean some sort of danger. So please write that down, D-A-N-G-E-R-O-U-S, dangerous, D-A-N-G-E-R-O-U-S, dangerous. What does dangerous mean? Unsafe or harmful. So if you're doing your synonym, you can write dangerous in the first column. In the second column, you can write unsafe or harmful. And then in the third column, you can write or draw a quick sketch of something dangerous. If you need to push pause, do so. Be careful, a bee sting can be dangerous. It makes some people sick. Think about it. What are some dangerous things you watch out for? Number 3, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I know I see a monster, Frankenstein, going after a boy, and they look very scared. In the second picture, I notice an emoji looks frightened from the spider. And in the third picture, again, there's some sort of monster worm, and the boy in the picture looks very scared or frightened. So, how are these pictures all the same or similar? They all show scare or something scary. So, write scare for number 3, SCARE, scare. It has that magic E that makes the A say its name. Scare. What is scare? To make someone afraid. Another word for afraid is frightened. So you can write scare in your first column. If you're writing a synonym, you could write afraid, 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 and then draw a quick sketch of what would make you scare or afraid. Be afraid. So, cockroaches will run away if you scare them. They frighten easily. There's that word, frighten, which is another synonym for scare. Think about it. What kind of animal might you scare and why? Number 4, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I noticed there's some sticky gum on the bottom of a shoe. Someone stepped on something really sticky. In the second picture, I notice a man is stuck to a web. And in the third picture, it looks like someone's playing with some sort of sticky slime or Play-Doh. So how are all these pictures the same or similar? They all show sticky. Number 4, STICKY, sticky. To stick means you are stuck to something that is sticky. STICKY. What does sticky mean? Thick glue-like things attached to something sticky easily. So what is a synonym for sticky or a word that means the same? Well, you could say glue-like or like glue, and draw a quick sketch. A spider web is sticky. Bugs get caught and they can't fly away. So the past tense of sticky is stuck. Think about it. What do you get on your hands that is sticky? Well, I see there gum, slime. Number 5, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I noticed the boy is plugging his nose because something's very smelly or gross. In the second picture, I noticed the food looks really old and gross and slimy. In the third picture, I notice a cracked old egg and there's like a mask because the egg smells so gross. And why are all these things so smelly or gross. So how are these pictures the same or similar? They all show, here's our word, something rotten. To rot, or it is rotten. 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 Write it down for your word, rotten. What does rotten mean? Dead and not good to eat. And oftentimes when it's rotten, it's smelly. Dead and not good to eat. So a synonym for rotten could be dead, not good. Another synonym for rotten is spoiled. A house fly eats rotten or spoiled, there's that word, spoiled, spoiled food. A housefly eats rotten or spoiled food. Think about it. What does something that is rotten smell like? Number 6. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a boy looks like he's yelling or screaming. In the middle picture, I notice a screaming or yelling emoji. And in the third picture, one person's calm, but the other person, they're on a roller coaster and she looks like she is yelling or screaming. So, how are all these pictures the same or similar? They all show screaming. So write down screaming, 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 screaming. Comes from the root word scream. So what is screaming? Yelling or crying loudly. So if you heard me say it already, it was yelling. They're yelling. So a synonym for screaming could be yelling. So you could put that in your second column. If you see a wasp, don't walk away. I'm going to read it again. If you see a wasp, walk away quietly. Don't run away screaming. Think about it. Why might an insect make someone run away screaming? And if I'm going too fast, push pause and then you can push play. Number 7, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a wind and clouds. In the second picture, it looks like a light wind is blowing the leaves and the boy's hair and scarf. In the third picture, there's some more wind. So, whoops. So how are all these pictures the same? They all show wind or a breeze. breeze, breeze. So what is breeze? What is a breeze? A breeze is a light and gentle wind. So write down breeze for number 7, breeze. You can write wind or light wind for your synonym if you're doing that activity. A ladybug came in when a breeze blew open the window curtains. Think about it. What does a breeze feel like? What does a breeze feel like? Last word. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. On the first picture, I notice 4 people and that they're holding up scorecards and they all gave them perfect 10. So they must be judges. They must be judging somebody and their performance at like a talent show or a contest. In the second or middle picture, I noticed these girls over here are talking about this girl over to the right, and the girl looks sad. I wonder what they're saying or thinking about that girl. And in the last picture, this girl is thinking something and she doesn't look too happy about whatever she's thinking, and it's probably about this person over here. So, how do all these pictures, how are they similar or the same? They all, well, if you saw that, they all are showing some sort of judging, to judge. Judge, write it for number 8, judge, Judge. To judge means to form an idea about, to decide what you think about someone or something. So these 4 people were judging and giving the person a good score for the contest or competition. But it looks like these 3 girls are judging, and not in a nice way. This girl and this woman doesn't look like she's having good ideas, and looks kind of sad and is judging the boy. So to form an idea about, to decide what you think about someone. So a synonym could be decide or form an idea. Look carefully before you judge or decide. See, there's the synonym, decide, Decide, decide what this picture shows. Decide. Think about it. Whom do you judge to be the best dancer in your family? So decide who's the best dancer in your family, or who do you judge to be the best dancer in your family? So there's all 8 of the vocabulary words. So now it's time to check your work, where you can either make sure you have all 8 words and you're going to rainbow write those words 3 more times, or if you chose to um, sorry, it's not there yet. Or if you chose to write the word and then the synonym and then the picture, because remember, a synonym is like means the same, just like combine means the same as mix. So you can either write all your 8 words and then rainbow write them 3 more times, or you could have written the words once, written a synonym in the second column, and then a quick picture or sketch in the third column. So let's review. Make sure you have all 8 words. Number 1, insects. Insects are small bugs with 6 legs. Whoops, my thing's frozen. Small bugs with 6 legs and 3 body parts and may have wings. So make sure you have the word insects. If you're going to write the word 3 more times, that's fine. But if you're going to write the synonym, an insect is a small bug. And then you can draw a quick pet picture. Number 2, dangerous, unsafe, harmful, dangerous. There's a synonym right there, dangerous, unsafe, harmful. Number 3, scare, to make someone afraid, scare. Number 4, sticky, thick glue-like things attached to something sticky easily. So you could write glue-like as a synonym for sticky. And if you need to, you can push pause if you're still thinking about your synonyms or writing your words. Number 5, rotten, dead and not good to eat, rotten. Number 6, screaming, yelling or crying loudly, screaming. Number 7, breeze, a light and gentle wind, breeze. Number 8, judge, to form an idea about, to decide what you think about someone or something. So there's the word decide or judge. So if you need to, push pause if you still are writing all these words and coming up with synonyms, or you want these for a quick sketch idea. On the top of your paper, it's time to reflect, just like Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too. And our learning target was, I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story Diary of a Spider. 4, I could teach this lesson. I easily said how each group of pictures were the same. 3, I was not able to say how most of the pictures, I was able to say how most of the pictures were the same. 2, I was able to say how some of the picture pairs were the same. Or 1, I was not able to say how any of the picture groups were the same. I should have said groups and not pairs. So how do you think you did? 4, 3, 2, or 1? And if you're done writing your 8 words and you chose to do this activity, you can challenge yourself. Get your crayons or your pencil and rainbow write your words 3 more times. Boys and girls, thanks for doing the vocabulary words and pictures with me. Have a great day.